Joe, nice of you to come. Thank you for being part of our program.
Wow.
Not a bad deal. Imagine this. When was the last time you think three Italians were on the stage? They were bringing in a piano?
If you knew this many people were listening to you, you would have gotten nervous, I think.
You know, they were listening to you. You were with us every week. They were saying, I can't believe I have to do it again today. Oh, man.
Well, it's depending on what happened the night before.
Joe Torre, every Friday, what, from 96 to 2008, is that correct? Every Friday you came on with Mike and me for 12 years.
Yeah.
Every week.
2007, yeah.
It was 2007. So you were every Friday, and by the way, when you got the job, Mike was away, unlike my time, of course, with Buck Showalter, and you came in the studio for an hour because Mike and I both thought, why are they hiring Joe Torre to manage the New York Yankees?
And what does he do? Wins the World Series, then wins the World Series, then wins the World Series, then wins the World Series. And now, Joe, it's gotten a little lean around here since you left, if you noticed. You know, they're hard to win now.
You know, fans, stop me and thank me for, all I've done here. I said, I had a pretty good player or two.
Yeah, you did, but you know what?
I had some special people.
Well, let's go back to 96 for a second, though. 96, Yankees haven't won in a long time. They get to the playoffs in 95. You get them through what was a rocky September. Didn't play well in September.
Mm-hmm.
And you get in the playoffs. You get through, and now the World Series starts. And the first two games, you get absolutely bombed. I mean, embarrassed by the Braves. After the game, little conversation with George, right?
Actually,
I'll upset George.
Actually, Mike, it was before
the game
2.
Okay.
And my whole life. I mean, my brother Frank played with the Milwaukee Braves when they played against the Yankees in the World Series in 57, 58. Little did I know at that time when I was sitting there in Yankee Stadium, in County Stadium, that the next time those two teams met in the World Series that I would be managing the Yankees. But we had beaten Baltimore, I think it was on a Sunday.
Right.
And we didn't play until the following Sunday. Yeah, we got rained out Saturday, which was the first game of the World Series.
Right.
And during the week when we were working out, we'd work out a couple of days. I'd give the players a day. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to have any simulated games because I was afraid somebody may get hurt. So it was, we were flat. We were really flat. So we lose game 1. Pettit starts and he gets walloped, and Andrew Jones hits a couple of home runs and we get killed. So George comes in my office before game 2. And let me tell you something. I'm relaxed because I got to the World Series. I mean, played 17 years, and managed 3 different teams, and he got fired by all those teams. And, so here I am. I'm in the World Series. You don't even think of winning the World Series till you get there because you just want to get there. So George comes in before game 2 after we get killed in the first game, and he says, this is a must game. Well, I wanted to say, no kidding, but we didn't know each other that well at that time. So I was loose, and I got a little goofy, and this is the God's honest truth. I said to him, George, and I was serious about this part. I said, we may even lose tonight because Maddox is pitching. And I said, we're flat. We haven't played since last Sunday, and we're flat. I said, but don't worry. This is the made-up part. I mean, it really happened. And I said, don't worry about it. I said, we're going to Atlanta. It's my town. And I said, we'll win 3 games there, and then we'll come back and win it for you Saturday night. And I walked out of the office. It was
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I thought the Braves were going to win that series because they had that great pitching. Another one I got wrong. Went to Yankees.
Well, listen, you haven't picked a New York team in 100 years, so I know that.
But I really thought that the Yankees with that great Atlanta pitching, I thought that was the key to that first World Series. Your pitching with Cone in Game 3, Pettit against Smoltz, then of course Game 6, Key was good. Again, your pitching matched up pretty well with that Braves.
Bullpen and bench. Your bullpen and your bench were unbelievable.
Yeah, my bullpen was terrific. They didn't get a whole lot of fanfare, but they did the job. They did the job. But probably the most important decision that I made, knowing Atlanta, knowing it was a launching pad, you can hit balls out of that ballpark, that I called on David Cone and I said, David, I want you to start Game 3. And the reason I did that was because he was the only starter I had that had pitched in that ballpark.
Really?
So and to David's credit, ego aside, put it on the back burner, if that's what you want me to do. And I explained why I wanted him to do it, because he was the only one that had pitched in that ballpark, and he wasn't going to get overwhelmed by the fact that it was called a launching pad. And that one picture you had shown, where I was talking to David, David was so nice. He had sent me a copy of that just within the last couple of weeks. He says, I know this is special to you. That's when I went out to the mound. I said, you tell me the truth. Look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Are you okay? And he said yes, and I knew he was lying through his teeth. Because I don't think he ever pitched when he was 100% his whole career, other than early on. And he just willed himself to get people out. He's just terrific.
He had that no-hitter, too, in Oakland that year, too.
That was the first game back after the aneurysm.
First game back, aneurysm. How about 98? I know 98. You like 99 almost better. Because 98, there was so much pressure on the Yankees. You had that great regular season. And it was almost a relief when you won a championship in 98, right?
Well, really, nobody's going to remember we won 114 games unless you do win the World Series. I mean, look what happened with Seattle in 01. They won 116 games, and we beat them in, I think it was 5 games.
Killed them.
But in 98, we had that really screwy, I think it was Game 2, where Knobloch, let the ball roll or whatever it was.
He didn't throw the ball to first base.
Didn't throw the ball to first base. And we messed it up to run scores, and I remember, we were all really bent out of shape after that game, and we were going to Cleveland, and I had said, guys, no workout, just no workout. Paul O'Neill's wife comes up and talks to me. Paul needs to work out. Paul needs to work out. I said, fine, whoever wants to work, we made it optional, whoever wants to come and work out. Well, everybody showed up. And, it was a tight group. But one thing about, the Yankee clubs that I had, they played well. Under pressure. And even when they were uptight, they didn't give anything away. And that was a pretty cool group.
No question. And for you, I mean, you had a great baseball life. You were MVP. You were a many-time All-Star. You were a broadcaster. You were a manager. But when you came to New York, you became a rock star. I mean, you really did. You became right now, Joe Torre is the most respected guy in baseball. I mean, you have really been, that's true, folks. Yeah, I mean, you have become, as you age here, you've become this, the grand man of baseball here. I mean, the Yankee thing really did kind of change your life.
Oh, there's no question about it. I mean, that made my whole professional life. I mean, I had a, pretty good playing career, but the Yankees made my life. And the fact that, it really struck home. We won the World Series in '96. And I remember they had asked, come down and light the Christmas tree. And at that point, walking through the crowd, I realized as big as New York City is, it was a small town, for me. And it was amazing. It really, and continues to be amazing.
Forget this Yankee love. Let's talk Luis Gonzalez in 2001.
He's always the one.
My favorite is, I'm on vacation, and you...
No wonder there are people sitting between you.
I'm on vacation, and Dog is talking to Joe the day Joe named 11 Yankees to the All-Star team, and Dog is like he's banging off the walls because you named the whole Yankee team to the All-Star game. Who cares if they're the best players? Doesn't matter. How can they all be on the All-Star team?
Remember that show I
I did, and I said to you, I said, I always felt that my guys stood up to the other guys I could have taken. If the other players were better, I would have taken the other players. I'm a little biased, obviously.
There's
because
Dog
my
worried
players
about
were pretty
Pedroia.
darn good.
I think it was Torrey Hunter. I was upset that Torrey Hunter didn't make the ditch. How about that ninth? I mean, does that, it had won so many. You won the 4 and the 5 years. That ninth inning with Mariano in Arizona. Mike was in the ballpark that day.
The worst. Because the 8th inning was so dominant, Joe. He went through the 8th inning, striking out the side, and gave a little single, but struck out 3, 4, and 6. And he was overpowering in the 8th inning.
And Soriano really saved my bacon.
Oh, hit a great home run.
Well,
Amazing home run.
I'm there. I'm on the fence with Zimmer, and Zim says, "Who are you going to bring in?"
Hey, Jim was great, though.
Oh yeah. He was there for all of them, folks. And I said, Mendoza. He says, Mendoza. What about Mo? I said, well, I need. We get a lead. I need him to shut it down. He says, you got to bring in Mo. I said, the only time I'll bring in Mo, I said, if he hits and all of a sudden he hits a home run.
Off his shoe tops.
Yeah.
Schilling.
He hits it off Schilling, left center field.
Bomb.
And in looking back on it, Zim was 100% right because, if you wind up losing the game and Mariano never gets in the game, then you never forgive yourself. So I never had a chance to screw that one up.
It's funny, Mike. We almost took Joe's great runs. Well, you and I didn't, but fans took the Yankees' great runs.
We all did. He made it. The Yankees made it look so easy during that time. They won 14 World Series games in a row. We're all spoiled. I mean, we all thought it was going to be like that every year. We found out it's not.
Well, my wife's one of 16 children. Okay.
Wow.
And they were Cincinnati Reds fans and just very loyal. Well, they were loyal to me. There's no question. It got to the point after winning a few World Series, you'd take the orders. My wife would take the orders for tickets, and then all of a sudden I'd have a brother-in-law or two say, we'll wait for the World Series. Oh, really? Is that right?
Yeah, first 2 series are easy.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it had to bother you a little bit. You always made the playoffs. Even though you didn't win a World Series after the 2000, you always got in. You lost, had that terrible bug thing with the Indians. You got hurt. And you always think that's when your big regret. Not stopping that game with Jabba Chamberlain, right?
Right. Yeah,
The midges.
I just felt and meanwhile, Dean Monahan was out there, putting that bug spray on, and it was Chateaubriand for those bugs. But he looked at me, he says, I can't see. I could read his lips, Jabba. And I was that's the one second guess that was, just not taking the players off the field at that point until that stuff cleared up.
What was your favorite Yankee team? Which is the one that's closest to your heart?
Well, in 96.
96?
96. I mean, we fall, down 2 games to the world champs and biting and scratching. And as you mentioned, we first half of the season, we didn't get like Cecil Fielder or Strawberry till about halfway through. And we were finding ways to win, and everybody was contributing, whether it be a pinch runner, Girardi sacrifice, safety squeezes, just a lot of stuff that, we worked really well. And then our bullpen, you guys picked, each other up, and Mariano, he gave us a pretty good taste of a setup man, didn't he?
He did.
It's unbelievable.
Well, we got the season starting Sunday. You're now in charge of all the on-field operations. Let's ask you 2 quickies. One, the slide rule. You know what the Utley thing with Tejada. And the pacing, the quickening of the game.
We're going to be hitting off a tee soon in baseball, you know that? I mean, so what are we doing here? Buster Posey gets hurt. We changed the rules at home plate. We got a guy knocked out at second base. Now we changed the rules at second base. What's next?
Well, let me. These guys,
Soon they'll pitch underhand.
these guys have been listening to all the politics going on.
Nothing's that rough.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
nothing's that rough.
Well, the Buster Posey thing, I didn't think, I talked to Bochy several times, I didn't think there was anything we can do, being a former catcher myself. And then you get letters from parents of minor league players who get carried off the field. And then Mike Matheny tells you how he can't account for 18 months of his life
Because of
of
concussions.
concussions.
Well, you were a
gotta
catcher.
try to do
Did
something.
you ever get knocked out at home plate?
Yeah,
You did?
I did. Oh yeah, many times.
Oh, a couple times, huh?
Yeah, many times. And I mean, that was your job, but it's, you bowl people
So
over.
you like the rule?
The one thing about it, we want to keep the players on the field.
But did you
Okay.
create more problems?
And
now?
I didn't mind the collision part,
Right.
okay? And I didn't mind the collision part. It's only when home plate was over here, and then you go over here to get the catcher. That's the thing that bothered me. So you're not even interested in scoring. You're just interested in
Knocking out the
just
catcher.
knocking him out so he can't catch the ball.
But now you've taken the neighborhood play out of the game. I mean,
Well, which
now-
I'm happy about because that was tough. The umpires had to decide, and it wasn't reviewable, so we had a lot of kickback on that.
So now but these guys have spent a lot of years where they haven't gone near second base. They're all going to have to touch the bag. Now.
They're going to have to slide in the vicinity of the
No, I'm talking about the fielders are going to have to touch the bag.
They're going to have to touch the bag. Well, the one thing I
Some guys didn't touch a bag in 20 years.
wait a minute, I just had a meeting with Terry Collins. Remember when he talked about Murphy not touching second base?
Right.
He was so good at being able to cheat over there. We looked at every one of those videos. He touched the base every single
Did he
time.
really? Wow.
Every single time. But he was so good at, just staying on just long enough. I mean, it's a way. The infielder's job is to try to avoid the runner, okay? Now, if the runner's sliding in the vicinity of the bag, at least he knows where he has to go after he touches the bag. So it's one of those things.
How was the Cuba experience?
Cuba was great. It was...
Now, that's a good one. A lot of people think that
I
baseball
know.
shouldn't be involved in that.
But the only, first of all, I'm not a politician, and I know there are a lot of things that have to get cleared up before baseball. We can get on that relationship, but it's like a religion there.
Right.
Baseball is like a religion. These young kids who play the game, you can't, you can't boo the kids who love to play baseball. And that's what our trip was about, was baseball. It wasn't about anything else. We weren't there to solve any problems that was really out of our jurisdiction. It was just baseball. It's going to be a while, my estimation, it'll be a while before, that we have a free, relationship with them. But, the baseball part was great. The passion for the game was unbelievable. And it was a successful trip. I know Derek came with us, and Derek, really enjoyed it. He really enjoyed it.
Do you miss management?
I really don't miss it. If I could go from my house right to the dugout and then back home, it would be easy.
Do you miss hearing George in your ear?
George,
Can you still hear him?
I still, yeah, it doesn't go away. No, but George, in all fairness,
We miss George.
I think I got
I miss George.
I think I got
miss the
George on the
missives.
back nine.
I'd do anything for a missive one of these days.
Remember those great missives? We used to get the pout music on, and Mike would read the miss.
I wish
We
he'd
missed
send
that.
one. I wish he'd send one.
And that's what you were so good at.
Yeah, you did a good job of controlling that stuff.
Deflecting, Mike.
Yeah, he
Joe
did.
deflected.
Well, you
George's
changed the
lips.
whole way. It was 22 managers in 10 years, and then you for 20 years. So, he didn't change managers anymore. So that's basically it.
I thought when I got there, I felt that my job was first off you're not going to, insulate the players from George because he owns a team. He has every right to be wherever he wants and say whatever he wants. But I just felt that the players needed to know that I made the baseball decisions. And again, not that George didn't make suggestions or want to tell you what he'd like to see happen. But the fact of the matter is, he never really never gave me pushback on what I wound up doing, really.
Never told you who to play or anything along those lines.
I said he made suggestions, but that was about it.
All right, you got 5 days to go for opening day. We got 6 teams in the National League. We're probably pretty shaky. 1 team in the American League. But I think baseball overall right now is pretty healthy, correct?
Well, I mean, the World Series last year with the Mets in Kansas City, I mean, it's a great commentary for coming up through the farm system. And, the commissioner, whether it's Bud Selig or now Rob Manfred, you want competition on the field. You want each club to have a chance to win. As you say, there are probably a handful of clubs that are going to struggle, in a rebuilding stage at this point in time. But what Pittsburgh has done over the last few years, that's where I'll be for opening day on a Sunday afternoon.
Cardinals.
And then I'm going to do both New York teams for opening day. So I'm looking forward to it.
The great Joe Torre.
Joe Torre, everybody. Thank you, Joe, very much. Thank you. Yes. Thanks, Joe. Joe Torre, everybody. Now,
What's next?
what's next? Before we show the folks a little video about the Garnet James, which you will in a couple of minutes, we promised over and unders. Here we go.
Oh, the over-unders in baseball.
Here we go. Get your sheet right here.
My sheet, I got a sheet. I go first, right?
You go first.
Okay. My over-unders in baseball.
Are you prepared? Have you
No,
mapped
I'm
this out?
prepared. I'm prepared.
You're prepared?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
You have first, I have second and third.
All right, okay.
3 overs, 3 unders.
Now, what is the bet?
10,000.
Okay.
Small bills.
And we have to do the 3 overs and the 3 unders, correct? You can't do 4 overs. You got to do 3 overs. No, 3 and 3.
3 and 3.
Okay. Who's going to write this down?
I got it. Let's go.
I cannot believe that the Texas Rangers are 82.5. Texas has good pitching. Darvish will come back. They have good hitting. They obviously they got Desmond to play left field. They should have beaten Toronto last year in the postseason. They got a lot of young players. The manager's pretty good. Done a nice job, that Jeff Bannister. Mike, I think that's a layup. I cannot believe a team that won 90 games last year should have beaten Toronto, and they got them at 82.5 with Cole Hamels for the whole year. That to me is a complete layup.
You got Texas over
82.5.
Texas over 82.5.
That's my first.
I get 2.
You get 2.
Mets over 89.5. A stone lock, folks. That is a joke, 89.5.
Yeah, that is a little low. Why are they so low? I don't understand. Why are the Mets 89.5?
That is a joke, 89.5.
That's
right.
wrong.
You know how many Met? First of all, we have Mrs. Met in the audience. We have Mr. Met. Usler. Where's Usler?
Bobby Usler in the house tonight. He's here, sir.
Where is it? There he is.
Bobby Usler.
There's it. Hey. And if we got to mention Usler, we got to mention Minko. Where's Minko?
Johnny Minko.
Where's Minko? Bob waited a long time to hear Mets over.
He sure did. No Met. There's no Met, Mr. Met, by the side of the road on the Merritt Parkway.
Mets over and Oakland A's, who are awful, under 76.5.
All right, so Mike likes the Mets in Oakland.
You're up.
This is an easy one. They stink.
Who's that?
The Milwaukee Brewers. Oh my God. I know they're, what are they, 70, Mike?
Milwaukee is 70.
They're going to trade the catcher. Luke Roy is going to get traded. So he's probably going to go. They have no pitching. They're revamping the whole team. I don't like their everyday lineup. They traded one of their outfielders. They have to be in a division with the Cubs, Pirates, and Cardinals to play them 56 times. I can't stand Milwaukee. Under Milwaukee at 70 is game number 2.
So the Brewer, you have Texas over and Milwaukee under.
And I will play these with the real guys.
You will.
Good day, Mike.
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think, their kids are going to a good college. Arizona over 82.
I was going to take them. You like it? Well, give me a reason. Go ahead.
Greinke.
That's a good reason.
Go ahead.
You don't think you were going to get me here for 3 hours and not talk about the San Francisco Giants? Why boo Samardzija, Cueto, Bumgarner, who, by the way, tell me how good Bumgarner is.
Did I say this is an under or an over?
Not an under. 88 and a half, northbound, SF, and the NL West.
All right, that was a hard one to fathom. Pittsburgh over 86 and a half.
Pittsburgh. Now, a lot of people don't like them in that
I
tough
do.
division.
I like
Why?
the young kids. They still have a great nucleus. They've been averaging 95 wins, and they won 97 last year. It's 86 and a half. Pittsburgh over.
Fair.
So that's it. Wait, that's my
No, you
3
got one
overs
more.
already.
You
I got
got
2
one
more
more.
unders after do. Go ahead.
You got one more. I have to come up with
Give
2
me-
unders and an over.
Go ahead.
2 unders and an over. I will go, I'm down on him because of this Adam LaRoche thing. The idea that Adam LaRoche has to have that kid in that ballpark, 162 games. Mike, first off, Timmy, Colin, and Patrick Russo don't want to be with the old man 162 games a year. And I love that-
162.
and I love that Harrison and Jack. They don't want to be with you either, big guy. I guarantee you. I will take, because I'm going to be anti-White Sox. I couldn't believe they made such a big. They got us the kid's jersey. Oh, come on! And Adam LaRoche did nothing last year, so I'm anti.
Well, that's why the kid's not there. He hit 205.
Yeah, it was 12 home.
Hit 300. They put the kid in the dugout.
Yeah, exactly right.
They give him a day.
They give it that. The White Sox under 81 is my second under pick. Go ahead.
So that is the Adam LaRoche pick.
That's an Adam LaRoche pick. Yeah. Do you agree with me on that, by the way?
About LaRoche, yes. About the White Sox, I don't know.
But LaRoche, how did they let this happen?
I don't know. I didn't even know this was going on for 4 years. Did you know he ever been in the dugout?
No.
Maybe it was the problem in Washington.
I guess he did it.
I mean, he hammered the Mets every time he played them, that's for sure.
But last year he did. Then he takes up his bats and balls and he goes home because they can't work out a deal.
Terry Collins, I like him, but how many times did he pitch to Adam LaRoche?
A lot. Good point. All right, that's my second under. Go ahead. You're next.
All right, I need 2 unders. And let's see. I'm not taking the Yankees under.
I will.
I'm not taking them over. I don't have any overs left. That's my good. What? Are you going to take the Yankees over?
You don't know what I'm going to do, Mike.
You won't take the Yankees over. I'm going to take the Dodgers under 90. That's the anti-Mattingly pick.
Yeah, that's a fair point. All right, Dodgers over. That's
No,
fine.
Dodgers under. Under 90.
Gotcha. Folks, how is Kansas City only at 84 wins? I mean,
They've been to the World Series twice in a row.
and they got everybody back.
Take them as an over.
The over.
Take them as an over. They saw you coming on that one. Take them as an over.
I am, Mike. 84.
They want you to take them as an over.
I love the Royals. Hosmer, Moustakas, Alex Gordon.
You're taking the Royals over.
Over Kansas City.
Over 84.
84. It's a layup.
All right, I need a third under. Boston. No, I think they're gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna take. All right, what the heck? Red Sox under 87 and a half. That's called working the crowd. That's what that's called.
I love you, Mike. I love you, baby. I love you. Say something funny after we Folks,
Give me one more, would you please? We
you
can
know
bring
who's
Messier
going
out
to be
here.
lousy this year?
picked the Yankees under 64.
64. What's it, 84 and a half?
No, but you think it's going to be like,
Not that bad.
all right, put it at 74.
No. I gotta win. It's $10,000 on the
79.
line here.
79.
I don't have that kind of money like you do.
79.
No. Yankees and Eddie, you're not gonna play hardball with me. What are you talking about? Yankees under 84 and a half is my last bet. We enjoy that how many times do we do that over the years in all the sports? Oh boy.
So there you go, $10,000 to the favorite charity. You want to just leave the check now or what?
No. It will bounce.
It won't bounce.
I'm renovating my house. I am broke.
You're renovating.
You know
You're doing the
what,
work.
honey? Yes,
You're renovating your house?
Yes, I
You're
am.
doing the work yourself?
No, I'm not doing any work myself. I got you. Okay.
That would be as bad if I was doing it. All right. Back to the videotape we go. Let's watch.